Hello and welcome to Physical Therapy, a movie podcast. We are here every week talking movies largely inspired by the world of physical media. My name is Kurt.
And I am Sam.
We are also thrilled to be joined by our returning champion, Bobby. Hi, Bobby.
Bobby.
Hey, pal. Good to see you. That was a very underwhelmed response. I'm thrilled to see you. It's been so long.
Thank you. Thank you for your enthusiasm, Bobby.
Why did I curve my enthusiasm? Yeah, no. Thanks. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
We're also joined by our producer, Kimberly. Hi, Kimmy.
Kimmy.
Hi, boys. It's nice to have all three of you here.
On today's episode, we are going to be talking about Criterion's recent 4K release of Bound, the 1996 neo-noir from the Wachowskis. But first, let's catch up. It's been a minute. Bobby, how have you been?
Oh, I've been doing really well. I mean, summer, as they say, it's such a blur. When I knew that it was over, I was suddenly aware the autumn leaves were turning.
Is it still summer?
In LA, it feels like it is.
Isn't it like 90 degrees there?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I've decided it's fall and that summer is over.
It's a mentality thing, I think. Yeah.
I was in New York. I was in, I said goodbye to summer and then I saw fall land and I loved that.
Was it autumnal in New York? Was it like You've Got Mail vibes?
It was not You've Got Mail vibes, I'll be honest. It was wetter and it was warmer. Yeah, it was kind of muggy, but not terrible. But I loved it. It was great. It kind of feels like it does right now in LA. Like this morning, it was muggy and wet where I was.
Have you guys been getting rain down there?
No. It has been foggy, though. It's been like foggy
very
at
foggy.
night. Yeah.
You guys are never on the west side where the marine layer comes in.
Yeah.
Like vampire weather.
Enough about the fucking weather, though, right?
Yeah, Bobby, what was the last episode you were on?
Yeah, great question.
Gosh.
Wait, I can find out.
No, oh gosh.
Criterion
Time eludes me.
No, because
were you not on that one?
I don't think he was. I think that was just you and I.
Oh, I have the answer. Does anyone remember?
Producer Kimberly, tell us.
Chinatown.
God.
Yeah, that tracks.
So it's been a minute.
I was a different person then.
It seems like Chinatown is now available again.
I saw that, Kurt. Seemingly anywhere you can get it. And with the two Jakes still, too.
Yeah. It was like wildly, not out of print, but just out of stock for months. But Chinatown's back.
Good to know there's a demand.
Yeah, although I think we all should have sold our copies and bought houses.
How were you guys' weeks in movies? Did you see anything this week? I saw things.
I did. Sam, you first.
No, I haven't been to the theater in a minute. I watched the new Salem's Lot that was made like a couple years ago and finally dumped on Max.
And I've been waiting for it.
Wait a minute. Tell me about that. It's not brand new, or you're saying they shot it a while ago?
I think it was shot in like 2019, 2020.
Oh.
And I'm surprised they released it at all. It's so crazy bad.
Damn.
That's too bad.
Insane.
Louis Pullman?
Yep. And that's the kid from Top Gun.
The son of Bill Pullman.
Oh, I don't know if I ever put that together.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
They look exactly alike.
Do we think so? Yeah, I guess
Yes.
you're kind of right.
Who's hotter, Bill Pullman or Louis Pullman?
I'll look.
Yeah, Bobby, what do you think?
But Bill Pullman
I don't know.
in The Serpent and the Rainbow.
What's The Serpent and the Rainbow?
It's a Wes Craven movie. I think it's not great, but it might be kind of tight.
Okay.
I believe Scream has a copy of it out.
I think Bill Pullman's hotter.
Okay, I'm looking right now. I also got Bill Pullman for a second confused with someone else, which is a sin.
Who did you confuse Bill Pullman with?
I don't want to talk about it. The second I was like, what name am I searching? Bill Pullman, I knew. And I think they are both strapping in their own way. But
Yeah, right.
I think Louis Pullman's he's hot.
He is hot.
He's hot.
He's a
He's
hottie.
hot.
He's got it going on.
They're both very handsome.
Jeez, this is a weird one. We're talking about the weather. We're talking about
The hotness of the
Pullmans.
Pullmans.
This is essential. This is essential content.
This is what the people come for.
This
right.
is the gossip.
Salem's Lot sucks, though, huh?
Salem's Lot fucking sucks, dude. And if you like it, that's fine. You just don't get to vote. It's just rushed and really bland. It's one of those movies where it's like, why even make this? There's no interesting camera angles. There's no interesting camera work. There's no interesting set design. It's like a total miss. It's like totally thoughtless and heartless in every way.
Brutal. Can we talk about The Substance?
Ooh.
Oh, of course. I've seen it twice now. I love it.
Yeah.
Wow, Bobby.
Did you finally see it, Kurt?
Yeah, I saw it the other day. It rules.
Just the other day.
When did it come out?
I guess I caught it immediately. I have this friend, God bless him. He's like, Bobby, right now at AMC, we can see a pre-screening of this movie that you've been talking about for a while, but your head is all over the place. You want to go? And so I went and adored it. And then was in New York in the rain trying to see a Broadway show after the one with Patti LuPone and Mia Farrow was canceled due to COVID.
Oh my God.
Devastated. And I was with a friend and I was like, hey, how do you feel about like a movie? And he's like, God, I haven't been to an AMC in years. I was like, you're going to love this, man.
Yeah.
I loved it a second time and he loved it too. We had a great time. It's a great movie.
The Substance, if people don't know, The Substance is about an actress in her 50s who's also kind of making her living as like an aerobics instructor who is essentially getting booted out of the industry because of her age and embarks on sort of a underground, what would we call it?
Like steroid program?
A trial, like a trial underground steroid program.
which results in your life kind of being split 7 days at a time between your real aged body and a young, super hot version of yourself. It is utterly disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like body horror at its finest. It's very funny. I would say it's more of a comedy than a horror film, but definitely body horrific.
Yes. Ooh, yeah, it's gross, man.
Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley are the lead actresses in this film, and it's fucking awesome.
It is currently sitting in my favorite movie of the year slot.
Nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's much of a horror movie. I don't think it's like there's no jump scares or any real conventional horror tropes in it, but it's definitely gnarly and gross and
hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny.
It's campy. It like knows exactly what it's doing. It's also very pretty.
Beautiful.
The production design is incredible.
Sound design.
All of it.
It's awesome.
The editing, all of it.
The close-up insert shots are great.
Oh,
they're just like, it's
smart.
Really stylized and fun.
It's economical. It tells a pretty complicated, big story in a lot of time. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
It is long.
But it does not lag.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily feel the runtime all that much.
Bobby, what's your favorite movie of the year thus far?
So The Substance is like the most fun I've had, certainly.
Yeah.
So another one, a high one for me, great experience. I need to revisit it is Challengers. I loved Challengers.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But the best movie for me is still, I saw The TV Glow. Did either of you see it?
Oh, I still haven't seen that.
Yeah, no.
It's coming from, I'm getting it on Blu-ray from
A24?
A24 shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's fantastic. I've seen it twice. There's something really different and really strange and really lovely about it.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I really want to see it.
Me too.
Yeah, so that's the one. I mean, that's like, but The Substance, I'm like, man, this one is, there's so much to enjoy here, but there's something really magical about that one.
I hope The Substance gets a good 4K.
Yeah.
I really do. It's so bright and colorful and
It will. I think Mubi's involved.
I think they will.
Yeah, Mubi's involved.
involved with putting it out.
Yeah, distribution.
I think
So-
they have the physical media rights as well.
Yeah, so it'll be good.
Do they do their own? Like, is Decision to Leave, Bobby, the one you gave me?
It's a movie.
Yeah.
That's directly from them. Yeah, cool.
Oh, so they work as their own distribution company and like
Theatrical, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very interesting. I was kind of shocked when they landed on the scene as a physical media distributor, but they now have a pretty robust catalog. And I imagine as they continue to acquire really internationally appealing content, they'll continue to pump out discs, I'm hoping.
Yeah, it looks like you can buy Blu-rays and stuff right off their website.
Yeah, I should browse that. I think the only one I've got is Decision to Leave, but that's cool.
They also did the re-release of Lars von Trier's The Kingdom
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
on a really excellent...
Don't you have that, Kurt?
I do, yeah.
I have it too.
I haven't watched a damn minute of it, but I do have it
It's
All
very-
7 discs.
Yeah, me too. Kurt, what was your favorite movie of this year so far? What is your favorite movie?
I agree with you that my favorite is Challengers as well. I kind of forgot about that one until you said it. That is my answer, but until you said it, I was going to say Strange Darling.
Oh, Strange Darling's great.
Love
Yeah.
that one.
That's my favorite movie so far.
Oh,
so good.
that could
So
pump.
good.
That could bump.
Challengers.
Ooh,
Oh
maybe
boys.
it's a little. No, I loved The Substance.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're just gonna bump
It's in
the
top 4.
Substance. Okay. Wait, Kurt, you said you bought Strange Darling the other day on 4K?
I ordered it on Diabolic, yeah.
What is it coming out on?
Yeah, do you know who's putting it out? I think the regular North American release is only blue.
This is a UK release.
Okay.
It is a collector's edition. Looks like it has like a side loading slip sleeve.
Okay.
It looks like kind of just a nicer kind of, studio release style 4K.
Cool.
Really looking forward to revisiting that movie. We talked about this last week, but it just was such a fun movie to see blind. So
Me too. I knew nothing.
I'm looking forward to the experience of knowing what it is and being able to kind of appreciate the way it's unfolding.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And surprises in so many ways. Like, oh, Barbara Hershey. I knew she was going to be in this, but in what way? It's all kind of magical and gross and scary.
Bobby, I have to ask you if you've seen Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis: A Fable.
No, I haven't.
Whoa.
Everyone wants to talk about it
Are
because
you going to?
I'd love to talk about it with you when you see it.
I'm sorry, I will see it. I opted for.
Don't apologize to me, Bobby. Apologize to Francis Ford Coppola and cinema itself.
I know he worked so hard.
Don't apologize to Francis Ford Coppola.
Is it better than Babylon?
Fuck no, it's not better than Babylon.
Okay. Because I love Babylon. But
Yeah.
Babylon is ambitious too.
One of the first things I said when I walked out of the movie, we saw it with a good friend of ours who also loves Babylon. And I looked at her and I was like, is this what most people think about Babylon, the way that I feel about Megalopolis? Anybody who thinks that, and I don't know that anyone does, but Babylon fucking rips compared to Megalopolis.
I don't know if I want to see it.
If you don't want to see it, maybe don't see it. I was really curious.
I just isn't it long?
It's actually probably shorter than The Substance, or right
It
about
is. I
the
looked up
same.
the runtime.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd rather just watch The Substance again.
Exactly. I called Kurt while he was in the movie, and he texted me afterward and he said, sorry, I was megalopolising.
It's a verb. It's a state of mind.
It is a
It's-
state of
yeah.
mind.
And I said, oh shit, do I need to see it? Because I was going to go last week and I just didn't find the time to go. And his response was negative.
Yeah. I wouldn't tell people they have to see it.
I'd rather see that robot kids movie.
That's supposed to be great.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that is
supposed
supposed to be really good.
I know. I'd rather use my time for that.
There are cool things in Megalopolis for sure. And I am very happy to have seen it. But
Here's my thing about Franny. He doesn't strike gold all the time.
In fact, very rarely.
Very rarely, and even the first time around, sometimes it's is this it? Is this what you got? And it's actually, 20 years later, here's my cut of it. Actually, I'm going to refine it again. So maybe we just aren't ready he isn't ready to put this movie out yet, is my thought. Maybe we wait another 20 years and he'll recut it and redux it.
Do you think we're going to get the Jack director's cut sometime in the next couple
oh my
of years?
God, how the fuck is Jack not out on Arrow box set?
Honestly, there is a good J-Lo is in it. And
J-Lo's in Jack?
Yeah, absolutely.
She a
is
teacher?
the teacher.
Yeah.
She is the first
Right.
teacher. J-Lo, man, she works. She is an actress before everything else.
Jack, man.
Jack, baby.
Boy, we haven't talked about announcements in a long time, and there's been some excellent ones since we have been back.
A couple wishes have come true.
Wishes have come true. Sam, why don't you start with just some titles that have been announced since last season that you're most excited about?
Just in the past couple days, we've gotten a Dante's Peak 4K announcement from Kino,
Hell yeah.
which is fun. I believe I wished for that on the Twister episode.
That
Yes,
sounds right.
You did.
And then Daylight, which is a later or mid 90s, but later in his career, Stallone movie that probably sucks, but I remember it being awesome.
Are they trapped in like a subway tunnel?
Yeah, no. They're like trapped in the tunnel that you get from New York to Jersey. Like that goes like under the river.
Okay.
And I think terrorists blow up cars on either side, and it's like a group of 40 people who are trapped in this tunnel. That might not be the plot of the movie at all, but who knows?
If it's not, we're writing that movie.
So that's really cool. I'm really excited to. That one always kind of, I think that and Breakdown came out around the same time.
Okay.
I always conflate the two of them.
Oh.
Because they're both very special for different and equally enthusiastic reasons.
And their posters.
Yeah, their posters.
They're very similar colored.
Stallone has like a white, he's got like the Keanu outfit from Speed, right? He's got like a white tee with a bulletproof vest. Hell yeah.
It's not bulletproof. It's like I feel like it's like
it's like a tactical vest.
I think it's even like lamer than that. I feel like it's like one of those vests that you wear when you bike at night so you don't get hit by a car.
Oh.
Is
he a cop? Or is he a construction worker?
I think he's like an he was like a rescue worker.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I mean, we're going to do daylight on this show, so we will find out. We will find out.
I can't wait. Scream Factory, I believe, announced Sam Raimi's The Gift.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm excited for a revisit.
Me too,
for sure.
It's been years.
Yeah. I always have liked that one.
It's Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Keanu.
Yeah. And Giovanni.
Who
shot Strange Darling.
DP of Strange Darling.
Is that the movie he does after A Simple Plan?
A Simple Plan. You say that's so funny. That's another one. It's a simple plan.
A simple plan.
That was queer.
A simple plan.
A simple plan.
A simple plan.
Say it all together now.
A simple
plan.
A simple plan.
You know what we should do is we should do an episode on both of those. That'd be fun. The Gift and A Simple Plan.
That's great. Great call.
I'll let you continue, but A Simple Plan was also announced recently from Arrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which we also talked about it not being released on Paramount and being sad about it. So thank goodness.
Yeah. That was one of my wishes, I think, at some point.
It was. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Another big, like a Arrow big box of Demolition Man was announced. That's going to be great.
You better believe I've ordered that.
Oh, I'm in. I've never owned that movie, and probably for good reason, because I don't love it, but...
Is Sandra Bullock in that movie?
Yes, she is.
Yes. Can't wait.
So is Benjamin Bratt.
Okay.
That's his name, right?
River Wild, baby.
Miss Congeniality.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Miss Congeniality.
I'm trying to think what else off just the top of my head.
They're doing The Great Escape as well in that same month, Arrow.
I'm excited. I never got the Kino 4K of it, so I think I'm going to pick that one up.
Criterion.
But
Criterion re-released it on 4K?
They did, didn't they?
No, just Blu-ray, I think.
Just Blu-ray?
I'm pretty sure.
I have the Criterion Blu-ray.
So do I, and it looks amazing. I
feel like just with licensing agreements, the way it works is...
Oh, you're correct. You're correct. It is Kino.
I've noticed
okay.
They've put out like a lot of Criterion Blu-ray releases. Like
who does?
Kino, they'll put out on 4K, like Some Like It Hot. I forget the other ones, a slew of them.
12 Angry Men.
Yeah, that's another one.
Another one that I think that perhaps was a wish of mine was Criterion is doing a 4K at the end of the year of No Country for Old Men.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's incredibly exciting.
Can't wait.
I ordered a UK Second Sight Blu-ray of the Blair Witch Project that I'm really looking forward to. Not a 4K, but I don't think it really needs to be a 4K.
Yeah, I don't think that would look great on 4K.
One thing I'd like to mention Criterion's putting out that I'm excited about is both under the Janus Films Contemporaries line, which is Evil Does Not Exist and The Beast.
How is Evil Does Not Exist? That's the Drive My Car director?
Yeah, and I have not seen either.
Okay.
So I am appreciating those upcoming releases.
Fun.
You know, one that I forgot to mention that I don't know anything about, but I'm excited for it, especially because Chris Christopherson just passed away. But Imprint is putting out this movie called Convoy, which is a later Sam Peckinpah movie that stars Chris Christopherson.
Cool.
And he's a truck driver, and there's like a massive truck strike, and I think the companies send in like some heavy hitters to beat up the truckers and
Oh shit.
make the strike go away. But so I'm excited for that.
Cool. Criterion's doing some fun, just like 4K upgrades of some classics like 8.5, Paris, Texas, Seven Samurai. Bobby, have you seen this Frank Capra collection that Columbia is doing?
I actually was going to bring that up. I am ambivalent about it.
Okay.
I think it's great. I think Columbia as a physical media distributor is doing great stuff with their 4K, collections.
Fantastic. They just have great box sets.
They have great box sets, but they're also just putting out good single discs all the time.
And they really excel at the picture quality. Sony, all of their
Yes.
stuff looks so great.
So I think it's great because Columbia has Frank Capra's catalog that they're doing this, but they've already put so many of these out with the other Columbia box sets. But no, I think it's nice. I just I don't know if I want all of them. I have all of them. I don't know if I need them in 4K, and I have a lot of them in 4K just from the Columbia classics.
For sure.
So there's a bit of redundancy. That's where I'm like, I don't know if I want to invest. What do you think?
Yeah, of the 4Ks, I feel like I already have a couple of them from...
I have It Happen One Night. I have...
Yeah, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. They've just been in other box sets, so
yeah,
I probably won't get it, but I was thinking you may.
I may. I mean, who knows?
Did you see, Bobby, the Vinegar Syndrome edition of The Tenant that they just announced?
So interesting because Roman Polanski's been top of mind for me. There's a lot of imprints doing a Roman Polanski collection.
Yeah, I saw that.
With Bitter Moon,
Is it like his 90s stuff?
Yeah, with his now partner wife, Emmanuel, I forget her name, but it's like that, Death and the Maiden. And then I watched Rosemary's Baby recently, appropriate that we left off on Chinatown, but I watched Tess again and Repulsion.
Ooh, Repulsion's great.
Yeah, Repulsion's amazing.
Tess is great too.
Tess is so good.
Yeah.
It's so pretty and so just it captures that epic literary aspect so well.
Yeah.
The music is so swelling. Anyway, The Tenant, excited about that one.
Yeah, for sure. Really awesome.
The case looks awesome.
Yeah, the collector's edition case is really cool. I'm excited for that.
Vinegar Syndrome does nice stuff.
There is a rumor circulating that Boogie Nights is going to be put out on 4K in December.
From who?
By what?
I think it's a studio release in a box set.
Wow.
In who owns that?
Warner
New
Brothers.
Line. Yeah, Warner.
It's probably going to be a New Line / Warner Brothers box.
Damn, I hope it's exactly like the DVD box. That's such a classic
It's so good. The
relic
orange,
of physical media.
Yeah.
The side-loading orange one.
PTA was also just an early champion of the DVD experience.
Yeah, for sure.
With the discs and the presentation, and he utilized whatever the studios gave him to put out really Magnolia also was so
Yep. It was the same kind of
memorable.
case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, folded. It was beautiful.
There was rumors of There Will Be Blood this year that I
read that too.
I don't think they ever said who it was. I was sort of assuming it was going to be Paramount Presents.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
But it is Paramount Vantage, right? Did There Will Be Blood?
Correct.
Yeah.
And they also did No Country, right?
Well,
oh, wow.
it's interesting because they have different distribution rights. So both those movies have different distribution rights by Paramount Vantage and Miramax. It just so happens that Miramax initially had the DVD Blu-ray rights, home entertainment distribution, whereas Paramount had the There Will Be Blood. And then internationally, they kind of divided it as well. But then it's interesting because Paramount reabsorbed the Miramax catalog
Okay.
for home entertainment.
Okay.
So they would have had to do the licensing agreement with Criterion to get that,
No Country.
if that makes sense,
Yeah.
because they got the catalog.
But when they announced that, I was like, oh shit, is it going to be a Criterion?
That would be incredible.
I don't know. I'm like, is it? These are the things I'm really concerned about. I'm hoping.
In the world.
Just truly, it's when I go to sleep at night, like,
This is all I think of.
will there be, like, when will this?
Same.
It's how do I, instead of counting sheep, how do I, like,
You count studios.
yeah, it's like, gosh, who has the rights for this right now, and what are the possibilities that this could be
Yeah.
put out in whatever way? So I think this is healthy. It's physical therapy.
Physical therapy.
Yep.
That's why we're here, man. Wait, guys, the weirdest thing happened to me today, and it involves movies. Right before we get to Bound, which we will do here in a second, but I came home from work today, and in my mailbox was an Amazon package sticking up. In it is supposed to be the movie Whiteout, starring Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I open the package.
Was it Problem Child too?
So I open the package, and it is completely empty.
The pack.
What?
There's just nothing in it.
I've had that
The
happen.
Amazon, not even a jewel case, or like,
Nope. Like, it was just, I opened it because I grabbed it. I was like, well, this feels light. And then I opened it, was just like, oh, cool.
So you were missing, you know what to say when you have to check the return options.
Yeah.
Item not arrived.
Now I got to reach out to Amazon to make sure I get a copy of Whiteout stat.
Before it goes out of print.
Well, when I bought it, they said there was only 2 left on the website. So I was
That's what
like,
I'm
dude,
saying.
Yeah, hurry, negotiate that shit immediately.
if anybody's a fan of Whiteout, please let me know, because I saw it in theaters and cannot remember a single frame of it.
Let's talk Bound.
Hell yeah, dude.
Had you guys seen Bound?
I hadn't seen it since college. I watched it in Directing 1.
That's cool.
It was cool. It was like not on a good TV, which kind of blew. But so it had been a long time, and this 4K looks great. But this movie's awesome.
Bobby, you'd seen it?
Yeah, I've kept this movie close since I saw it when I was in like middle school.
Cool.
Wow, that's so fun to see it then.
And it was because of a home entertainment release. And it was unrated. And it was on a documentary about censorship. And I had read about it being censored for whatever reasons that we can get into. And I tracked Roger Ebert's top 10 lists like a fanatic. And this was listed among them. And it was a 4-star review.
Cool.
And then The Matrix came out. And I was like, wait, these are the same people. Why aren't we making this connection? So I have watched this. Every home entertainment release of this, I have collected. I love Bound.
Me too.
Yeah, what's your relationship?
I saw it within the last like 2 years. I saw it at the New Beverly
That's awesome.
here in LA on film.
Fantastic.
I knew of it by title and obviously knew the Wachowskis had made it and that it was their first film with sort of, that was all the information I knew. And it was clear to me, like right when I got into the room, that the audience was primarily queer. And I didn't, know that those themes would be a part of it or anything. So
Really? You didn't know?
no, I had no idea. I knew it was like a crime movie, but that's it. And it was really fun to see it with that crowd, and
Oh, I bet.
it blew my mind. It's so stylized,
Yeah.
so confidently made, and it's really fun to have it, get the Criterion treatment because it looks awesome and sounds awesome on 4K. Yeah.
I turned it up pretty loud because I was watching it this afternoon. And so I just wanted to see how it sounded. And the gunshots specifically are really, the sound design of them is just like really good.
Bound is about a woman named Corky, who is played by Gina Gershon, and she has recently gotten out of prison and is doing some kind of like contract work, cleaning up an apartment building and like getting it ready for a new tenant to move in. So she's like painting it and whatever. And next door to this apartment, in the neighboring unit, a woman named Violet and her boyfriend live, and her boyfriend is in the mafia.
A gangster.
He's a gangster. Yeah. He's played by Joe Pantoliano from Memento and The Matrix and Midnight Run and
The Fugitive,
Risky Business.
U.S. Marshals.
And Violet is, of course, played by
The incredible, amazing,
Oscar-nominated
beautiful
actress.
Jennifer Tilly.
Just a standout.
And Corky and Violet develop a romantic relationship and attempt to steal $2 million from the mafia.
It's hot. It's exciting.
This movie is sexy. This movie is really entertaining. And
It's a thriller.
a great thriller and an amazing screenplay.
Yeah, when it was presented to the class that I was in school, we read the screenplay first. We read scenes from the screenplay first without knowing the gender of anybody in it.
Okay.
And then we watched the movie and it kind of flipped a lot of that on its head because it is a pretty traditional noir in terms of the setup, but it shifts that gender, a lot of the gender stuff that would be in a traditional noir. And it's done so expertly.
They talk about, I think there's like the history of trying to get this movie made. They ran into a lot of studios turning them down because it was too females. And they were like, we're into this, but you got to change one of these characters to be a man. But on the Blu-ray,
Who said yes?
Jennifer Tilly talks about it on the Blu-ray. She's like, we took it to Dino De Laurentiis and he was like,
Boom.
Violet's a woman? And they were like, yeah. And he was like, Corky is a woman? And they were like, yeah. And he goes, I'll give you $2 million. He loved it.
Dino De Laurentiis, talk about one of the most important Hollywood producers that got certain stuff made.
I mean, I mean, this is the Halloween guy.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Dino.
We wouldn't have a lot without him, man.
He's so important.
No, every other studio would have been like, nope, not interested, can't sell this. Dina's like, yeah, this is gonna sell because it's sexy and it's scandalous and it's brazen. Yeah.
So did they edit a lot of the like sex scenes out originally?
In the R-rated version of this, they did.
Got
it was
it.
definitely like edited, censored, whatever you want to call it. This Criterion version is the international unrated cut.
With a lot of amazing special features that are recycled from an Olive signature release.
Okay.
That has most of those except a couple of new ones, which are great, but it also has both versions.
The Olive one?
But yes, it has the R-rated version.
Interesting.
So there's a really, there's a reason I won't sell that one or get rid of that one because it's still,
Without a doubt.
It might have been out of print, that Olive one, because I remember getting home from the New Beverly and looking into buying this, and my memory, I didn't buy it, and I think that was why, because it wasn't easy to find that one. So all the more reason to hang on to it.
Olive has since closed, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
which is too bad. I thought it was great.
I actually didn't think about this till right now, but I'm assuming that the one I would have seen at the New Beverly was probably the R-rated one.
No, you would have absolutely seen the unrated cut.
Really? On film?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That would have been like offensive unless they branded it and marketed it as like, this is the version you saw. It pretty quickly supplanted the
unrated
uncut version. Yeah. Unrated was how it got, people saw it in America through DVDs. So that's why I saw it. It was like, whoa, this is not what people could. That's why a lot of movies, that's how they could get their NC-17 cut.
Yeah.
So its whole legacy would have been that, but they've always held on to the R-rated.
It wasn't one of those movies where it was hard to find the unrated cut of it.
Absolutely not.
Got it.
For years, since home entertainment, physical media has played a role, this movie specifically has benefited from that medium. And there was a long time where it was only full frame, and then they got the widescreen cut, and then it was both the unrated, and then you could get the R-rated version. But it's been appreciated in its full form through DVDs, essentially.
Got it.
Not to bust your bubble, but
no, I mean,
appreciate it. Appreciate the physical media connoisseurs.
Yeah, it sounds like it had its life on physical media. That's how it really got around. That's amazing.
And 1996, it's that is the absolute perfect time for a movie to come out on physical media and find its audience on DVD.
Well, and this is again, it's not to get too heady about it, but it is one of the reasons why it's important, why physical media is important. Once you have the disc that has the unrated cut on it, there's no changing that. You can't, hopefully nobody's busting down your door to take it and burn it.
But that's why and that's why it's such an interesting case study for censorship and theatrical distribution in the MPA or MPAA and kind of what they do to censor content. And it's interesting because you could watch them side by side, and there are lots of documentaries that show like, oh yeah, we had to cut, like we could not have this angle of these bodies. We could not have this type of intimacy. We could not, it's very interesting. Even though Dino said yes.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
We're watching the Dino cut on Criterion, I think.
We love the Dino cut.
We love the Dino cut.
Well, so my question is do any of you know when this came out? Was this a movie that kind of the queer community rushed to back or?
Totally.
Okay.
Totally. The movie has had a really fantastic and complicated role in queer cinema and audiences because it had an audience within underground movements pretty early on, because it was like, oh my God, this movie's fucking hot. It's like not hung up about these things, but we can like queer communities could access it, specifically women. And then there was always that question of authorship too. It was not really acknowledged quickly as like the most important piece of queer cinema, just because of its authorship. It was two men.
Sure.
And what's interesting about its authorship and looking at the Wachowskis now, it has an even more poignant role in thinking about queer cinema and queer directors and filmmakers and what their careers look like. So this is all to say, it's been underground in proportionately appropriate ways that queers have existed, if that makes sense.
So when the credits roll on this, it says directed by the Wachowskis. Did it at any time say directed by the Wachowski brothers and that got dropped?
100%. Yeah.
Interesting.
As someone who's had many physical,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what my guess is when I saw that.
And I'm not holding it for like evidence of that, but it's more like, look at the life of this piece of art and how we understand it so much more differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then their names are actually, they have like, I guess, is it exec producers at the end? It is
Lana
and Lily.
Yeah.
Oh, it does say that. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of those updates where it's like, oh, that is nice and great that you did that.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Their direction in this movie.
Oh my God.
It's fantastic.
It's so cool. It's like, you can just feel the Matrix coming, like in the way this movie looks and sounds.
The myth was they made this to prove to Warner Brothers that they could direct a movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
It's incredible.
Do we think, and I probably know the answer to this question, but is this their best movie? Or is it The Matrix?
I think so. I think this is
this is
good.
their masterpiece. I think The Matrix is lightning in a bottle for different reasons, but this is...
Yeah, I mean...
Kurt's having a meltdown.
The Matrix is The Matrix, though. Like, I feel like...
I know. I mean, I get it. Yeah.
The Matrix is explosive, but this is subversive and perfect. Like...
Yeah, I have no notes.
There's no notes. Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect for sure.
There are no notes. The Matrix, it's like, that didn't age well.
It might be 7 minutes too long.
Bound.
Shut up, Sam.
Isn't it like 97 minutes?
No, it's 148.
The Matrix lit the world on fire. That movie, like, that is anyone's opus.
Bound did differently.
True.
You have no idea.
Yes, Bound did do it differently. The fact that it's both of those movies, like...
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible.
It's crazy that they both exist in the way they do. It's amazing.
They're incredible.
And I love Cloud Atlas so much. So like, just throw that on top. I'm like, give me more.
I'm very excited to watch that now. I have still not seen it.
Cloud Atlas, I love it.
I think you talked about Cloud Atlas like on our first episode, Bobby.
I know. I remember bringing it back.
It was the underrated 2000s or 2010s.
That's right.
There's a sequence in this movie that is, to me, is so masterful in its kind of the effortlessness of the cinematic kind of magic trick storytelling that they're doing, where Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly are discussing how they're going to go about a heist.
Genius.
And you're seeing visually the heist happening as they're explaining it. And you see that in many movies. And a lot of times I think you kind of come back to the real time experience of like them in the room talking about the heist, and then you see the heist happen later or whatever, like, or it doesn't go down like you saw it happen or whatever.
No, but it like coexists with the plot moving forward.
In Bound?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at some point, them visualizing what they're going to do, quote unquote, like turns into like it has already happened, and now we're like in real time.
Yeah.
After the heist is like halfway done, you don't see like where the one timeline kind of stopped and the new one began. It's hard to explain, but it's this incredible transition in storytelling.
It moves it along, but also it helps you kind of gain the scope of the story and the things that are at stake. It like recaps the plan. It's very economical. Even
Absolutely.
Their dialogue. I mean, Sam talks about reading the script in school. It's also like, my God, the way they directed it and the way they wrote it is it's working in such symbiotic like rhythms, because the whole plot is about like walls and like things that are happening through the walls and sound and the camera and the way the set works with walls and telephones and things moving between spaces. It's very isolated. They're not working with lots of different set pieces.
No, there's like 3 locations or sets even.
It could be a play.
It could absolutely be a play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Few characters, few locations.
But it's so playful the way that they use the camera. It's so inventive.
Alive. It's alive.
Yeah, it's slingshotting around. It's beautiful.
It does not feel
stagey. I would have never thought this could be a stage show ever.
But it could be. It just doesn't feel like.
But the reason it works is because there's something electric happening in the filmmaking between.
In the wrong hands, it's a play.
Well, that's a perfect, what I was trying to say about the Salem's Lot remake thing is that there's absolutely no style to it. So like this movie Bound in the wrong hands is a silly neo-noir that's like probably kind of boring. And because the Wachowskis had so much style and flair and were confident in themselves, it really translates across the screen. Kurt, that scene that you're talking about where they're talking about how the robbery is going to go, and we're watching how the robbery is going to go. You're right. In a normal movie, we normally hear the plan and then it cuts to how the robbery is going and something goes wrong, and we know it's not supposed. It's going wrong because we've already heard the plan. And in this movie, the robbery goes exactly how it's going to, except for at the very last second, because at the very last second, Gina Gershon goes, boom, he runs, and then we're done and we're out of here. And as we're watching in the movie, she says that, and then Joey Pants says, I'm not going to run. And that's really when like the second half of the movie starts.
Well, you're thrust into the present and you're done with this narrative that you were on.
Yes.
But you're already there. You're like, oh my God, how did it go wrong at this moment? It's gone so well. Yeah, it's genius.
Genius.
There's this shot in the movie where you mentioned phones, Bobby. There's like a shot in the movie where the camera is tracking along a telephone like cord.
Oh, so good. It's so good.
There's a little like loop in the cord, just the way that it's like lying on the ground, and the camera is tracking like left to right along this cord, and then it hits this loop and the camera does like a little loop around the loop in the cord and then continues on, and it's just so funny.
It's playful.
Yeah.
Dude, I think they took that from Evil Dead 1.
Really?
There's a scene in which the camera is on the ceiling tracking Bruce. It's like a bird's eye view of the top of Bruce Campbell's head.
Okay.
He's walking, and the camera goes over a piece of wood in the ceiling, and it just makes this wonk noise for absolutely no reason. It's like all of a sudden the camera we're watching like a movie all of a sudden, right? Like it calls itself out. Yeah. And that is very much what it reminded me of.
Funny.
Also, there's so many innuendos in the dialogue too, like the sink and just the whole idea of things being clogged and things being like it's just there's such like it's all dripping. Yeah. And even when they're in the gay bar, the lesbian bar, the bartender looks at Gina Gershon, who just got out of prison, and there's a way she's like, didn't know you were out. That was kind of like both poking at how people talk about their sexuality and also didn't know you were out of the penitentiary. And it was like just laced with double entendres. It was so smart.
I mean, just the flat line where Joey Pants is like screaming at Jennifer Tilly. He's like, what did she do to you? And her response is everything you couldn't.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. awesome.
Yeah.
When he mistakes her for a man.
Yeah.
And he thinks that Jennifer Tilly's cheating.
He's like, oh, it's dark in here.
And he's like, oh, we're good.
He's also just like the funniest little Midwestern gangster.
Oh, he's
Isn't
so good.
he?
He's doing
amazing.
he's doing like the fucking SNL, like,
Yes.
Dove Bears. Like,
Yeah,
that's like,
without a doubt.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's like everything we love about him, and from Baby's Day Out to, The Sopranos.
Another thing that's cool about this movie is Bill Pope, the DP, did this for a low budget. And this movie, I think, looks a lot more expensive than it was. And
Sure.
from what I read, they had a hard time finding a cinematographer who was willing to kind of bend to the budgetary needs. And then to have him go on and do The Matrix for them is so cool.
God.
So cool.
Even the score, everything is all people that go on to do The Matrix.
Yes, and it sounds like The Matrix. I mean,
yeah, it looks like The Matrix. Like it feels like the same world. Like the building and the suits and like the style, the leather, so much leather.
Yeah, totally.
The sound design of this movie is awesome. It's so awesome.
It's so good. You can hear every like little crinkle and like it's
that incredible shot where it's right around the time that they do the telephone cord, but when the camera again is like mounted at the ceiling and Jennifer Tilly's on the phone, we see her, and then the camera pans over the wall that separates her and Gina Gershon, and Gina Gershon's on the phone on the other side, and the camera just like so smoothly pans across it, and it's bird's eye view of both of them. It's incredible. It's just little tricks like that really make the movie, as you just said, Kurt, like it looks more expensive than it was, and it really gives it a lot of character. It's easy to see why this movie lives on.
And they do such a good job with the space, like the geography of the location is so central to the story. And you really, by the time the shit is going down, like in the last third of the movie, like, how everything connects spatially. Yeah. And it's very engrossing in that way.
It's a very good version, like a revamp of Double Indemnity. I kept thinking about Double Indemnity the entire time.
Yeah.
But it subverts a lot of the...
I know, and I was waiting for the... And I don't want to, give it too much away, but I was waiting for that, typical...
You walk out feeling better than...
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And you're rooting so hard for them. And
it's like a oddly feel-good movie.
It is.
Without being the gloom and doom of noir of
exactly
the 40s.
And just a banger of a last line, which we won't say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you float out of the theater. You just feel so good.
It's totally amazing.
There's a lot of love to old, like, low-budget horror movies, too, in this, which I love. At one point, Joey Pants turns on the TV, and he turns it up super loud, and they're watching Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Mickey is the dad in It's Alive.
Oh, cool.
He's a character actor who just like has been showing up a lot in background characters in movies I've been watching. He plays like a pilot or a weapons dealer in this movie called White Sands with Willem Dafoe that I watched not too recently.
This is John P. Ryan, personal friends with Jack Nicholson, who got him into acting according to Wikipedia.
Then there's my Christopher Maloney.
Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Maloney is so funny in this. Oh my God,
great.
He was cracking me up.
God bless him.
Anything else on Bound?
I can be down on the Wachowskis a lot. And so I was a little like nervous on this rewatch, but there's absolutely no reason to be. If people have not seen this movie, I think we all highly, highly recommend it. It's great. It might be 7 minutes too long, but it like moves really well.
It's one of my favorites. I love it.
I find it pretty interesting that both Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon, they never really quite accelerated. And it's kind of crazy that they're in this movie, and they're so fucking good and
they
so
have niche
incredible.
Careers.
Yeah, they have such a strange career, and it's sad because they're so like they should have been like at the Nicole Kidman. Like they're up there. They're so good.
They're so good, but also Jennifer Tilly, and this is what I think where she's smart. Like you can cast her against type, and then it's hilarious. But she's doing it so well. But and Gina Gershon to a different degree.
Yeah.
But even just Tilly's voice, like there's no way you can't.
Oh my God, iconic.
It's iconic, but you can't shake that.
No, that's true. I mean, yeah, they are niche people in their own way, but it is surprising that I guess they didn't have more electric stuff from after this.
Probably because they were lesbians.
I mean, does Jennifer Tilly have the sexiest voice of all time?
Oh my God. So good.
I knew that when I watched Bride of Chucky.
Exactly. I mean, I would say that's her biggest turn in her career is the Chucky movies.
I can never stop thinking about Liar Liar.
Yeah, Liar Liar is all I think about with Jennifer
Liar
Tilly.
Liar. That was her
Incredible stuff.
She also took the children away from. I saw that at a very impressionable age, and she was the villain because she was taking the children away from their father, and I was sad.
Yeah. Driven into the arms of another man. 7. Whatever.
Whatever. Have you seen Bullets Over Broadway? Her Oscar nominated
for it, right? Yeah. No, I haven't. Is that Woody Allen?
I haven't either.
Yeah, it's my buddy Woody.
I will not be watching that.
We can't talk about Woody and Roman on the same episode.
Yeah, we can. Bullets Over Broadway is so good.
I want to watch this.
I've never seen that. Yeah, I gotta see
John
that.
Cusack and
John Cusack is a straight man with just geniuses. You've got Diane Wiest.
Edie Falco's on here too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, Bound to me was like one of the most delightful discoveries of the last several years of just a movie I never saw that I just kind of stumbled upon, and it just blew my mind. And I was so excited when Criterion announced it.
I mean, and you had a hard time finding it.
Oh yeah, you drove everywhere.
The Blu-ray, yeah, it was in LA. It was actually really hard to find it during the Barnes and Noble sale.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was hard. I had to go to, where'd I go? Westfield? Westlake?
Thousand Oaks. You went to Thousand Oaks.
Damn. Yeah, I feel like it's unfortunately not talked about at probably the rate that it should be, but people check it out. You should definitely watch this movie.
A lot of special features, recycled, they may be, most of them, but...
And you get access to like the stars talking very candidly and well about the experience and the legacy.
Okay, before we go, it's time to put wishes out into the physical media universe for movies on formats that they do not yet exist on.
Oh, man.
Are you ready, gentlemen?
Yes.
I wish for The Mask on 4K.
I wish for I'm Thinking of Ending Things on Blu-ray 4K Criterion.
I wish for a 4K Arrow big box of The Raid 1 and 2.
Wait, I have a wish.
Yeah,
I wish for The Legend of Frenchie King on anything.
Kim, what's that?
It's a French Brigitte Bardot spaghetti western.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
And I am dying to see it.
No physical existence?
No,
Beyond what, DVD?
I don't even see it anywhere in anything. And its French title is Le Petrolus.
What does it mean?
It's like the petrol, like gasoline ladies, basically.
sexy.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
but it looks fucking hot and like it's very feminine spaghetti western.
Cool.
I'd love to see it.
The Mask is a movie that stars Jim Carrey. It's from what, 94, 95?
Directed by
Our man Chuck Russell.
friend of the show, Chuck Russell.
He did the Blob remake and a little movie called Eraser.
And listens to this show every week.
He listens to this show every week. What up, Chuck?
Your luggage.
The Mask is a movie about Jim Carrey finding a magical mask that turns him into a wild character called The Mask. And he
Is confident and sexy and all the things that Jim Carrey doesn't feel like he is.
Exactly. Just a really fun, still funny to this day.
And Cameron Diaz.
It's such a sexy movie.
Oh my God.
Cameron Diaz.
Oh my God.
So hot.
It really holds up. I love The Mask.
Truly.
So it'd be fun to see that in 4K.
It's fun.
Is it on Blu-ray? I gotta
It's on
get a
Blu-ray.
copy of that.
It is on
Okay.
Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I do have that on Blu-ray. Bobby, tell us all about it.
Have you seen I'm Thinking of Ending Things?
I haven't. This is Charlie
It's the
Kaufman.
Charlie Kaufman movie. It's sensational.
Fuck. I gotta see it.
It was Netflix, right? It was a Netflix movie?
Yeah, and it's so challenging and it's so unique on its own, but also a fantastic adaptation of a book that's also inscrutable. So
Who wrote the book?
this guy, Ian something, he's Canadian. The book came out maybe in 2017.
Okay.
And the book is very scary and strange. And the movie is very strange, very scary in different ways. But it's quite, if you like Charlie Kaufman, it's fantastic. And the cast it's essentially a chamber drama. It's just Jessie Buckley and Jesse Plemons.
Mm-hmm.
And then supporting with Toni Collette and David Thewald. Yeah, it's great.
Is his filmography just Synecdoche and Anomalisa and that?
Yes.
Wow.
And I love Anomalisa.
Me
love
too.
Anomalisa.
Oh, I love Anomalisa.
Yeah.
Bobby, I bought the Sony Pictures Classic box set just to get Synecdoche and Call Me By Your Name, basically in 4K.
Good call.
But yeah, I would like to see that for sure. Criterion, maybe?
Yeah, I don't see what else.
Yeah, I mean, that's what all of our hope on any Netflix project is.
Yeah, I'm like,
basically.
These are if you're pulling from the Netflix pool, this is one to consider.
Yeah.
Samuel?
I wished for The Raid 1 and 2, two of my favorite martial arts movies. The Raid 1 has come out on 4K from Umbrella.
Yep.
But I don't see a Raid 2 4K anywhere, and it would be fun to have them packaged with one another. That's like a 2-pack that I would like to have.
For sure. I'm partial to the Raid 1.
So the rumor is that they wrote the Raid 2 first.
Okay.
But everyone was like, we're not going to give you
Yeah.
this much money to make this crime drama.
That's awesome.
So they wrote the Raid 1 as a way, kind of like the Wachowskis, as a, like, we can do this. Check this out.
Yep.
And the Raid 1 is just like a lean and mean, bloody, crazy action movie. The
It's
Raid
so
2 is much more of a spanning kind of gangster drama.
Yeah.
But they're both phenomenal. They're like awesome. And the martial arts in both the movies are next level.
Yeah, the hand-to-hand combat is crazy.
A couple of the actors from the Raid movies have shown up in like The Force Awakens, John Wick 3, I think.
I think they shot the Raid 1 on like Canon like 5Ds. Like it's like
Yeah.
low budget. It's awesome.
It's really great. It's truly
Inspiring.
great. If people have not seen those and they love a bloody martial arts movie, check them out.
I haven't seen them, but they're always pretty high on my list, so I got to check them out.
Yeah, I mean, the Raid 1 is like 90 minutes and the Raid 2 is 2 hours, and the Raid 1 is like a video game. It's like the bad guy's on the top floor. You got to fight your way to the top floor.
I just got a 4K of Dread, which is very inspired by the Raid.
Very much so. Yeah, totally.
Okay, that's it for our episode. Bobby, it was so nice to have you back, buddy.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope you'll have me return.
We love you, Bobby. We're happy to have you.
We're getting dinner with you, Bobby, in a few days, and I can't wait.
Can't wait. Friday.
Order me a plate.
We'll put a little plate for Sam.
We'll probably eat it, but we'll think of you when we eat it.
Thank you. Good.
A big thank you to Patrick Laban, as always, for our music. You're hearing it right now. Kimberly, thank you for producing our show.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kimmy.
We'll be back next week with some spooky movies for spooky season.
Get ready, y'all.
See you then.